as far as getting it all.
We're good? All right. Good morning, everybody. We'll open up the Commissioners meeting for this morning. And first, council update. Greg, do you have anything this morning?
No, I really don't.
Okay. Next, Grace Wida, GAL/CASA grant application.
I don't know that Grace was going to be here because it's the same grant that they always do.
So I make a motion to approve this grant.
I'd make that motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, same sign. I should say the grant is requested for $21,000. It's passed through. All right, next, Gary Moore, flooring quote.
Good morning, Gary Moore, Randolph County EMS.
Morning.
How's everyone?
Good.
Did you get my email with the
I
quote?
did.
Okay.
Did you have a second quote, or have you attempted a second quote?
I've been waiting. Yeah, I've tried three people, and this
Okay.
is the first quote.
You're not required to get two quotes if you applied and they just don't give you
Yep.
one.
Yep. I didn't even get anything back from one. I got samples dropped off, and then one was a gentleman that works part-time at it, and he did it early on last year, actually in December, November. He was going to have some time off, and then he wasn't going to have any ability to get any help to do it after that.
Yeah. The quotes that you've provided, are they what you need
Yes.
completely?
Yep.
You have
Yep.
a total of what it is totaled up? There's three different.
I did not total it up. Looks like
Like 10,000.
right at $10,000. And he separated the quotes out for the different styles of flooring. The first, the $660.24 is the entryway. It was a thicker type carpeting to scrub stuff off. That's where a lot of stuff, salt in the wintertime especially. And then we would have the vinyl planks in all the day areas and bathrooms, and then the carpeting would be just in the bedrooms. And it's all the stuff the squares that you can replace, heat them up, even the vinyl planking, you can replace them as they need it. So functionally, and I think it'll be a lot better than what we've had in the past. Some of the problems with the carpet right now, I think they put new carpet in, and the next day they had some asphalt work done outside, and immediately,
That's what I heard, day one or day two.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So yeah, this will get us what we need.
Can I have those quotes? I can get them up here. Can I read yours for the record? as we get them?
Yes.
Is that all three of them?
Yep.
Okay, so we have three quotes, and I think I'll mention that Commissioner Kearns has said he would like to abstain from this because
Yes, I have a relative tied to that company.
so the material for the first quote and labor is $7,163.66. These are all joined together to do the same project. The second quote added to it is $2,014.58. And then the final quote is $660.24. I've reviewed them all. Missy, you have any questions on them?
I do not.
Would you like to make a motion? And I think we probably are going to pay this out of Commissioner's Keen Cap.
Okay. Perfect.
I would make a motion that we move forward with replacing the flooring in the EMS building. That's located in Winchester,
And use Commissioner's Keen Cap.
and use Commissioner's cume cap.
I would second that motion. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. This is for accepting these three quotes presented this morning. Aye.
Aye. I second that.
And Tom?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay. Anything else?
Not this
Can I
time?
keep these?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
All
Have
right.
anything else for me?
Nope.
All right. Thank you. Thank you
Glad
very
you're
much.
getting that done.
Next up, I've added Ed Thornburg, our county surveyor, who has got an issue with a fiber line and a bridge. Would you like to bring the commissioners? Joe, do you mind? Thank you.
Coming slow, sure.
Ed Thorberg, County Surveyor.
Joe Copeland, County Engineer.
What do you got, Ed?
Okay, I had a request that came in Friday from the people doing the work for New Lisbon, burying fiber conduit. They are working up around Maxville. I think it's 675. My picture doesn't show the road number. But their limestone is so close to the top of the ground there, they can't bore under the stream. They've tried twice, and limestone is not very forgiving. They were asking permission to attach conduit to the side of the bridge to run their cable across. Speaking to Joe about it just now, we were talking about if they put it in conduit, not attach it to the concrete portion of the bridge, attach it to the steel superstructure away from the road surface, and then pool enough cable in their boxes on each end of it so they could take it off if it was in the way. This is kind of a special exception because of the limestone being practically at the top of the ground there.
It's, I've seen them put it all kinds of places. I've had them put conduit on the inside of a curb, which was bad news. They just deteriorated concrete. As long as they stay away from that concrete, and we can get in there and maintain the bridge when we need to. The only other thing is if we ever replace the bridge, then they're going to, they realize they're going to have to move it. And it's like Ed said, leave plenty of cable in there to do things with it in the future if they need to. But they can attach to the outside. It's going to be on the outside of the guardrail and attach it there. Or I have seen them attach it to steel beams, the flanges on a steel beam underneath the bridge, and that's out of the way pretty much. They could do that. I have, when we've replaced bridges, put conduit in the bridges and the slab on the outside edge to let them run through, but we're not replacing that one at this time, so.
What would keep children who play at bridges from damaging their conduit? And if they did, who's going to take care of it?
The responsibility for that conduit's theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
My
not.
final question is, and I really don't like it because what we went through on Carl Street because of utilities attached to a bridge. Why can't they go up and over? Why can't they put two poles in, bring it up, go over, come back down? Why? I don't want to get started attaching our bridges if we don't have to. But there's no other way. I guess there's no other way, but there is another way, is my thought.
That's a good point.
Can they go down, can they just, when they're coming in, can they make not a 90-degree, but a 45-degree angle and then go under the road with conduit?
Yeah, but the limestone's too high.
The limestone,
They
the limestone,
You can't get deep in
in that neighborhood, a lot of the places, the limestone is this depth to the floor from the ground. And it's just not, it's not, you can't move 50 feet and get away from the problem. It's the top of a dome there.
If it was electrical, what would we do?
Don't know. I'm guessing they'll drill into the ground, set a pole.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your other option.
If we have to replace that bridge and that's on there, it's their responsibility, but how do they support that? If we're taking the bridge clear out, how do they support that going across there at that time?
Well,
That's their problem.
yeah, and that's why I said they need to put a lot of extra cable in there for circumstances like that.
I think we tell them with their problem, tell them no.
I've never approved one before, but I've never run into situations where the limestone's so high either. So,
Like I say, I'm good with whatever decision you guys.
Well, I appreciate you bringing it to us. It's definitely Commissioner's decision. My decision is no, so I won't make a motion for it. So, Tom?
I'd rather see them try to go up and over first.
I'm a
Say-
no.
Tom, would you like to make a motion that we
Yeah, I would make a motion that we
We do
deny
not.
the request.
we have a motion to deny the request. We have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Good enough.
thank you.
Thank you. We are done with new business already. Other business. Sheriff.
I do not have anything today.
Thank you, Sheriff. Payroll claims. We have payroll claims for $385,074.71. So I can make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
Motion to
We have
approve.
a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye opposed, same sign. Regular claims, $1,613,295.56.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
On 9, Laura.
Randolph County United claim, $20,134.34. Will I make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, same sign. Rural Alliance RAS 32 claim, $120,000. So I make a motion to approve the claim.
Motion approved.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye opposed, same sign. Ford construction claim. This is a claim that was tabled from the last meeting. I believe we've all had time now to review it, so I make a motion to approve the claim.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, same sign. Flex time discussion, and I'll have our attorney weigh on the new law changes coming on the handbook before we get started. Meeks, would like to?
Yeah, so when I looked at it on July 1st, every employee, other than employees of merit officers, the courts, probation will have to, as a condition of employment, sign the handbook of what.
Community corrections.
Yeah, community corrections, the courts. And so I was going to give a Shannon to see who signed this handbooks and who haven't, and then send an email out to who has not, to the department head to let them know of the new law change. But that's basically it. I mean, so how I read the law is that the commissioners would set the policy, and then the implementation of that would go to the elected official over that department. So if there's an elected official over the department, then that person would need to implement the disciplinary things that are associated in the handbook.
Right.
So are the courts exempt from that?
Court's exempt, yeah, there's a statute.
Any other exemptions?
Well, I brought the statute with me,
Okay.
that's all I can tell you. I hope I brought the statute with me.
Merit officers.
Merit officers,
Okay.
merit officers, the courts.
Elected
and
officials.
Elected officials. Pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
There might be some other ones in there.
And Meeks, I will say that anytime we hire anybody, and when we did the new handbook, when we handed them out, we had them sign off on that.
Yeah, I thought so, so I figured
So
probably everybody has already.
Yes.
I was just gonna give a Shannon after I read that, just to make sure, to double check that everybody, but since I have it on my phone, if you give me just a second, I can tell you exactly who is.
And the handbook is a condition of employment once it's adopted.
Yeah, people will need to sign it. Here we go. Application. Probation, court, judicial officer, prosecuting, the prosecutor's office, public defender's office, office of community corrections, governed by the merit board, or any state, or if, of the state. So, state employees would not be subject to our handbook.
Okay, yeah. Now on the discussion of flex time, I'd like to put forward to the commissioners, flex time was never meant, ever, to be a way to enhance and add additional personal time. There's a mechanism for personal time. It's 3/4 of a day a month. What could go on, it could easily be unfair to employees and not something that goes across the county evenly and fairly. So I would like to put forth to the commissioners a motion to say that flex time cannot be used to enhance personal time. That does include working through lunch and an hour starting earlier. These are not mechanisms to get yourself more personal time. I also would like to say that we reiterate that the standard office hours for non-emergency services personnel in Randolph County is 8 to 4 with an hour lunch built into it, and that hour lunch not to be taken in the last hour of the day. We have to be fair, and these type of rules are also fair to all other employees. They also help employees not get out of bounds accidentally. So, Tom, what's your thought?
I agree.
Missy?
I don't have anything to add.
My question is on that lunch hour,
Mhm.
what if, does that mean the office closes during that lunch hour? Or do they
Well, that's up to the
stagger?
department heads. They run their, we have to set up. Well, you know what happened, Nix, what do you say?
Well, here's what the flex time policy says. And let's just see what it says.
Yeah.
The county may utilize flex time scheduling for employees holding full-time positions to avoid employees working in excess of their normal work week schedule. For example, if an employee is required to attend a night meeting on Monday and works an additional 2.5 hours, they may flex their schedule to come in late or leave early, a total of 2.5 hours on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of that same work week. Flex time shall be approved in advance by elected official department head. Flex time cannot be banked for later use and shall only be used within the established 7-day work week. So the purpose of it is that if you have a doctor's appointment on Monday morning, then you can come in and, flex your time. Or if you have to work late because you have a commissioner meeting or something. That's the purpose of the flex time.
Right.
And we can put language in there to make it a little more clear. That's the purpose
Yeah,
of
I think you need
it. That's what I think to do. I'm not sure you do away with flex time. I think what you say is, I think you maybe add another paragraph, this is the purpose of flex time in there, so that it would be clear to everybody.
We also have personal time. This purpose is for such things as doctor's appointments, children's activities. It's almost, I feel like sometimes the personal time is used to bank, and you need to use personal time if you have personal issues. Personal.
If you're talking about the lunch, so are you going to define when the lunch needs to be taken? You said you don't want it the last hour of the day. So do we have a, from
Parameters?
from 10 to 2, some type of parameter or something like
Yeah,
that?
I would say we add that the lunch hour needs to be
If you're going to say it can't be taken, the last hour, then do we put parameters? in
between
that?
10 to 2 gives the department heads plenty of time to maneuver around. I think so, yes. But I just said the last hour so we didn't get too heavy on restrictions for something.
The last hour would be fine.
Missy, what do you think on that?
I have a little problem with however we look at this, I guess, but you're gonna have some situations where an office is busy and someone says, I'll stay and cover this, or I'll finish up on this document during my lunchtime. Would it be okay if I left at 3 o'clock? Because they didn't take their hour lunch. On situations, I guess I think the elected official has some say in this to run their office and how they need to run it. Or do they close the office down for that hour we say they have to take their lunchtime during?
Well, I think that's an extreme situation we're talking about, Missy. It's a one-off. I really do believe. I believe elected officials and all office holders can find a way to keep their office order and cycle through lunches. But if you have that one-off situation, I'd say, they have the right to say, hey, I couldn't get it happen today, and they had to do it. Well, that's not what we had going on. That's not what we had going on. We had Fridays taken off
Yeah,
intentionally.
I'm not
I
up to
agree
par.
with you.
I've been out for the last,
Yeah.
out of town for a while in hospitals,
But that's not what we had going on. I think if you have a one-off situation, sure, you need to do what you need to do at that one time. But to say that we're gonna let people come in early and work through their lunch all week and then I won't see you on Friday, it's not at all what flex
yeah, I
time.
didn't know that was
That's
happening.
enhancing flex time for personal time. We have a mechanism, 3/4 of a day per month to build personal time. And I was on the committee that done all this. We took all the sick time and rolled it into personal time so they would have the ability to use it. Used to, sick time had to be used for sick time. And we took during those discussions and put flex time in to help the department heads maintain and manage overtime. Overtime they were hit with that they couldn't help. It wasn't used for that. We have to clear it up. We also at the same time went to 4 weeks vacation for 15-year people. The commissioners and the council did a lot of work to make it better to work for Randolph County and fair. And then we had situations where flex time was being banked all week to take off on Friday. We never meant.
Yeah,
that
I
to
never,
ever be.
I didn't know that was happening.
Yes, it was.
I think, first of all, we should have, when this came up, I didn't hear about it until last week, but I think it would have been good for us to have gone and spoken, maybe, I don't know how we do this, but one of us to speak with elected officials and saying, what's going on here? And have you checked the handbook to move forward on how people can use particular time off that they're either need or they've somehow bargained to get, stay and work later. The taking Fridays off, I don't agree with that at all, but.
Well, it all has to come to the open anyway. It all has to
Right.
come to the open for the people to listen to, and that's,
Well, you have work hours too.
yeah,
So some offices are closed from 12 to 1
yeah.
and some aren't. So I don't know, how that works into it. But I can
Yeah, I
write
don't know.
something
I read
else.
that too. I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah, and we have departments like, the APC office out there, we just can't let them do that, because, and then therefore they don't get to do such things. We need to keep those offices open. But anyway, the one-offs, basically, we can't make 1,000 rules to take care of that, but we can, and, I'll make a motion that flex time is not to be used to enhance personal time, and that all non-emergency services personnel are required to take a lunch break. And that lunch break is not to be the last hour of the day as standard operating practices.
who does that leave in the office to cover the office if the elected official isn't there that day and they have to take a lunch hour? Do they lock that door and, which may be on citizens' time, the only time they can come in from their work schedule to get information would be between 12 and 1.
I don't know the department that could really happen to, but maybe, like I said, wouldn't that just be the one-off? We can't set rules for that. For the one-off, you gotta let the department head take care of the department.
But if you
they
put in
answer
the
to
flex
people.
time that they have to, then that's the problem.
Right.
If it's a one-off, that's a problem. If you put it in the handbook that you cannot, and then they do it. Even though it's a one-off. Why don't I get some language together?
Yeah.
And you guys look at it.
Yeah, I think we're trying to make it more difficult than it is.
I think that's exactly correct.
Well, I think
Yes.
you are, but I think you've gotten to this point where if you have an elected official who comes in 3 times a week, and that can happen, it's happened in other areas where some elected officials don't come in every day. They're not required to do that. There's no statute that says they have to be there. Then you're putting that workforce in their office in the position of trying to figure out how we're gonna keep the doors open.
You can easily put language in there that says, we don't want to see this consistently happen.
Right.
And
Right.
things like that, that says it's not just a 100% absolute no. This should not consistently occur.
Okay.
Right.
They
Things
didn't
like
seem
that.
to, some people.
That's what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying.
But some people didn't seem to care about your case, Missy, when they were taking off Fridays.
Well, I think it's also a level of understanding of how
Yeah.
these things work and maybe a little education for everybody, because if that's the way we've always done it
Yep.
since the comp time, well, I didn't realize it. So I think a little education also works. Not to back and forth with you, Gary, but I think that a lot of this
Fair
might
enough.
be a little
Fair enough.
education. Yeah.
It was loopholed. It was done intentionally, in my opinion.
I think people didn't understand weren't in those meetings with us and might not understand the purpose of it
Okay.
either.
Okay, fine, yeah. I think their bigger problem is gonna be the Randolph County Council, who's paying attention to all of this. So, we'll just, we are tasked with getting a handbook that's workable and has parameters and is fair.
Exactly, and the county council has to, if the county council decides, hey, if you can take a day off every week, that's up to the staffing at that point, how they're gonna budget those offices. That's not you guys, that'll be on the council.
Oh, sure, I know that.
Question going back to the handbook. If the department is not underneath our handbook, do they have to have their own handbook?
Well, they'll be under the handbook. It's just the discipline will be up to the department head.
Well, we talk about like the sheriff's department, the merit officers that aren't under our handbook.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's,
Do they have their own handbook then that is approved by anybody, or how's it? Because they're, I'm sure they're using the same benefit.
well, the personnel handbook was adopted by the courts. So the courts adopted our handbook. So they're covered by it.
Right.
They actually have a different document that they sign that says, yes, we're going to adopt the handbook, but we're going to implement the disciplinary procedures in it. The merit officers, I'm not really that up on the merit stuff, but they have their own a whole set of rules. I think it's all in statute. I've read
Right.
some of them,
Right.
but that's all. Yes. So I think they answered your questions. Yes.
What was it?
The merit officers,
Yeah, well, how about
Do
the
they-
staff of the courts?
the court, they adopted our handbook.
Okay.
And there's a
And the
document.
prosecutor.
And the
Both and
prosecutor,
the
we had the
prosecutor.
prosecutor, we did that the first time we did a handbook, 20-something, when I first started. And then when we did it again, we took that same document and we had them all three, both the judges and the prosecutor signed that we adopt the handbook. They can't have their own handbook. They just don't want to go, I mean,
Yeah, they have their own.
yeah, I mean, I understand not wanting to, be different than that, but they can have their own handbook.
The benefits exist within our handbook, the commissioner's handbook. So,
So their handbooks are the same.
anything else missing?
Nope, that's it.
We can have that language and ready to go.
I'll try to get something
July.
together, yeah. I will have something together.
Are there any department heads here who have any discussion or input to come forth with? Yeah, yeah. Can Cheryl come on up? Is that- I mean, I'm just curious, because you're
Stacy.
Stacy, sorry.
I'll answer anything.
I mean, my concern is I don't want to start losing employees, but I don't agree with taking off on Fridays at all, but, sorry, go ahead, Stacy.
Stacy White, the Randolph County Soil and Water. I am a one-person office. So I do try to take anywhere from 11:30 to 1:30, 11:30 to 12:30, 12 to 1, somewhere right around in there. My DC is not always in the office, so sometimes we do close at lunch. But we put a note on the door that we'll be back.
So you're a one-person office and you're able to manage this and make it work.
Yeah,
That's my point. Okay, thank you.
thanks.
But still, she's closing her office. So what if I'm somebody and I drive in to want to get something from the auditor's office and none of them are there during lunch? And Laura, I'm not picking on you. I know you.
I know
Yeah,
that, and we
yeah.
don't close. We have enough
Right.
staff. But
Yeah, you've got enough staff, but let's say somebody was ill or couldn't be there or whatever.
But there are offices that are a lot lower staff that I know have had to close before because somebody's off sick and,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the elected official.
But that's,
call.
yeah, that's a
Right.
rare happening, but,
Our,
you know.
Right. Our job is to make sure as commissioners that this courthouse is in good standing order and open.
Right.
The elected officials run their office, and if they want to close their office to the public, then it may be difficult to get the public to put an office.
Yeah, I hate to see any office closed to the public during the day where somebody
agree.
leaves
Well, I do
work
too.
and they come in and then they've got something important they need to file and they can't do it because that office is closed and they work every other hour of the day.
I would hope the elected officials believe that too, and I think they do. Anyway, so Meeks, you're going to get us some language. And
I'll try to get something together. I'll get some.
Anything else missing on that?
Well, I don't want hired employees to feel like, that we don't appreciate the work they do, and I think we can get this worked out. There are some situations with people where they need to work through a lunch hour, and I understand if we don't want to do this, but sometimes their children get out of school at 3:00 and they need to be home by, 3:20 or whatever to get the kids off the bus. There's all kinds of, and when you can work those situations out for young parents, I think I think it's a bonus to keep our employees. I think our employees work hard here. I don't know. I go in Laura's office more than any, and they're always working to the brim on everything. So I don't want to change the rules necessarily. I think letting people know what we've been thinking about or what's coming up before, just communication with those elected officials to say, hey, wait a minute, why are your people doing this? Remember, they need to be here, and for whatever reasoning, they have to leave.
Okay, I mean, I don't totally agree with your opinion. I would like to say that I believe Randolph County employees are well taken care of.
I do too.
I believe there are people who work in businesses and factories across this county that would beg to have what we do, the time off, the allowed time off, the flexible schedules. We're asking the people that pay Randolph County to have a harder work schedule than we expect from our own. I don't want to put too much burden on our own people, but it's the other people that's paying for our people. We are public servants. Everybody that works for Randolph County, everybody that runs for office serves the public. And the public doesn't get all these special benefits. They don't all get them. And what we do, we've got our pay up. Our pay is not disrespectful anymore.
No.
So we are a good place. As a matter of fact, I would say
I think
that
we're a very good place.
our employment here, people would covet and get in line, and you would never have trouble filling these positions in Randolph County, ever. Most of them, what we're talking about here, you would never have a problem asking somebody if they would like 4 weeks of vacation, 9 days of after 15 years, of course, 9 days of personal time, 14 holidays, flex time when your children are sick. I expect a lot of Randolph County folks would like that. And I'm not saying we're trying to be mean to our employees. We have to have guidelines and guardrails. We just have to, and it protects the employees as much as it protects management. So we have good, hardworking employees, and so does all the people in Randolph County who don't get all these extra benefits, but they still have to go to work every day, and they gotta work it out. So we used to have low pay. We don't anymore. We're well paid. We're 35-hour work weeks for a lot of these people. We're well paid, so we don't have to apologize for having rules. And we have to work the rules out. I'm with that, Ms. Hill. Okay, we'll get the language right. But we're being taken advantage of, and we have to put our foot down, I believe.
I think it was, I agree, but I think it's just been a miscommunication what people thought they.
I don't believe so. I believe it was intentional.
Well, then elected officials should have stepped up and said, hey, I can't let you do that. Or we should have communicated with elected officials and said, or, talked to them and said, are there any circumstances that make it necessary?
When you
for
say we
someone?
should have done this, I don't believe I did anything wrong.
No, I'm not saying you did anything wrong.
I
We
think you
just
have to be able to
disagree
call
on
it out.
this.
Well, we can
Because I've
disagree.
seen young parents who had to, or any grandparents or whatever, who had to sometimes come up with a little different working situations to make it work for
Okay.
that family.
Fair enough. Why don't we go to the next one? This is an easy one.
Okay.
The insurance requirement meets,
I can't find it in the handbook. Do you know where it is?
the insurance requirement, you'd send it to me one
Auto.
time.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it.
Anyway, our particular insurance agent that we have now, Laura reached out to them, they have not tracked that insurance. I'm talking about turning
Auto.
in your auto insurance, the auditor's office. They quit tracking it 10 years ago. It doesn't matter to
So
Randolph
in our
County.
old insurance, the insurance company wanted to make sure whoever is traveling on county business had insurance. Yeah. Now they don't even track it anymore. So the auditor's office has been tracking it, but it's very difficult. It's I won't say accounting, but it's herding cats to get people to send their insurance cards in. I know this because I get an email once a year and I keep forgetting. So since the insurance company's not requiring it anymore, I don't see a reason to keep track of that. And so I think we need to remove that from the county handbook. If I can find where it is in the county handbook. I'll find it.
Somebody make a motion if they agree to remove private auto insurance requirements to be on file with the auditor's office.
But you still have to have insurance, everybody. You still have to, like, that's state law.
Yeah.
We're just not tracking it.
On file with the auditor's office,
Yes.
I'll put it in there.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
tracking it. I'll make that motion. You make that motion? We have a motion missing.
Second?
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay. Next up, RCU, future funding discussion. We have members from the RCU board here if they'd like to come forward.
I will find that damn thing. I've been looking.
That time I get my phone to see where you send it to.
I wish I had a search.
Clyde Schaefer, RCU President.
Ruthie Rose, Randolph County United Office Administrator.
Okay,
Fire away.
fire away. Well, we put on or I actually have to put on the agenda, the future funding discussion of RCU. We've had quite a bit of discussion on whether we, the commissioners, wanted to fund RCU at the levels we're funding them now.
Correct.
There's a lot of reasons, and I don't want to get derogatory to anybody. I just do not feel personally that we, the commissioners, for the money that we spend, I feel like we get locked out, basically, and it's almost like the money's entitled, and we're not getting economic development for Randolph County, or an input that really matters a whole lot. So this whole discussion about shall we hire our own? Should we go through here and hire our own and change the funding level? Not to put you completely out and shut the lights out, but to give like $100,000 to their 25 to tourism, some to the chamber, some to RCU, and not do $270,000 a year in total. I think when the RCU board changed, we lost representatives from every community. It was a good idea.
There was too many.
Whether there could have been that there was too many.
25 was too many.
Then as time went on, it became more clubbish and less about every community of Randolph County, every city, every town, every person. And if you're in the know or in the clique, you were in the clique, and if you weren't, you were just a Randolph County citizen. That's kind of how I feel about it. So this discussion here, that we have to have them in open, is should we fund RCU at the level we're doing it? Should we find our own as a commissioner's employee? Or should there be a balance between the two?
Right.
So, Tom?
The loaded question. I think we should, I like the idea of a balance between the two. And it's going to have to be a, kind of, over a few years, where we phase into it. Maybe not for us, and that's one reason we're doing this early. I think your contract ends at the end of this year, the current contract. So
Yes.
To try to, so give you guys time to adjust and give us time to adjust. I'm also looking for our budget, before our budget hearing in August, so that if we're going to add something underneath the commissioners, we can look at that during our budget hearing. But I've struggled all along with the idea of the chamber, and we've had those discussions of having basically paid members to economic development,
Right.
With them being combined. So how we could do it and work together, that's where we need to find ourselves.
I do want to interject one thing, just so everybody knows, in 2029, the edit funds will be like how we're funding this right now, won't be here.
Correct.
Okay,
That's
just,
some kind of switch.
I want to make sure the elephant is in the room.
Yes.
That everybody
Yes.
knows that there is one.
Well,
Now, I don't know what that foretells, I don't know what.
I don't think they
said.
know what it foretells.
They do
Okay.
not.
But I
They
do know
don't
what it foretells about about your funding. In
Yes.
2029, it's not coming from there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Missy?
I've seen a big change in what was economic development 5 years ago. Somebody would go out and Greg Mr. Beimer was usually that person, or he assigned me to go do that when I was there. I've had small businesses, and I don't mean local, I don't mean pop and shop, I mean small factories who've come or called me and want to know, could I come I said, you need to call Randolph County United.
Yeah.
And they had someone's number, they called, and that person didn't get back with them, not you, Ruthie. And they were really frustrated, because they may need a grant for a different type of product to keep what they can produce for another factory here in town. I think it's, in my opinion, it has moved from being a corporation that is dealing with the entire county at no cost to those businesses who need that. Now it is. You pay, you play. And I just think, and it's wonderful to do that with small, mom and pop shops, but we need industry in this county badly. And we need to make sure that the glass mold repair shop on the west side of town gets as much attention and as much help as Anchor Glass Mine, Ardell, or the casket factory. When has anybody been down to talk to them and say, how's it going? What do you need? Are you concerned? Are you having problems with employees? Getting employees. So I've seen a major shift, and I've also I asked, and someone let me see the finances. You have almost $900,000 worth of assets in Randolph County United. I am really worried about what the state is going to do to county governments, and tried to get as much last week as I could, working around some other family situations. It is going to be bad for small counties, really bad for small counties. And so I am not in favor. I think you can operate completely on your own. You're going to have to rethink. I get frustrated when I'm trying to talk with somebody from, not you or anything, about how a grant, some decisions made in a grant, just to discuss it, and then suddenly, oh, sorry, I'm at my next place. I gotta go. It's 1:15 in the afternoon. Who are we working for? Randolph County? Or for how many other businesses that we're paying anybody in this county would love to have that salary and be in this county. How often? I think we need a person here that anytime I want to walk, not me, but anybody wants to walk in that door, there's going to be a leader who's going to be able to make major decisions right then and there. Or say, you know what, let me get in my car. Let me come to your factory with you, or your business, or somebody wants to start something up, where our economic development area is,
Right.
where those are now. So I'm a hard no right now.
Okay.
And I think you've done a great job with what you're doing. The chamber's super. I'm not a partier person, getting dressed up people, or a person, obviously, everybody can tell you that. But I think we have got to try to figure out how we're gonna run. And my suggestion, and these two guys I know have their own ideas, each one of us, and we'll talk this out. But I think our county needs to hire somebody who's gonna be a person who's gonna be a grant writer for the county. We're missing out on grants that we have no information on how to write those major grants. I just think we need to go, nothing against Randolph County United. I wish you the very best. I think you will operate, just have to find a different way to maybe use some of your funding. But I want to see us get our own leader who is a grant writer on at least part-time, so we can have them go after some of the grants for the county, and we can all move forward doing that.
Correct.
But I am really concerned about what small counties are going to see in the future with the legislation has come forward and is going to continue to come forward with no funding.
Yeah.
Fine.
We recognize completely that the funding issue is going to come to a loggerhead, period. And it's not just going to be with RCU. It's going to be with all sorts of things you guys are funding, period. And that's why I think we've been pretty open. We've discussed things with all three commissioners. This isn't like we're coming in saying, oh, we're shocked or we're surprised. When you talk about a grant writer, I think Gary might have been president of Economic Development time. We hired a grant writer. That was her job. I can't think of her name. Didn't work out like we thought.
I remember her first name.
Yeah, and the concept was we're going to hire a grant writer. That grant writer is going to be available to the fire departments, to different government entities, and they're going to write all these grants. Don't ask me why it didn't work, but it was a failure. And we paid salary for probably 2 or 3 years because that was kind of the thought was we're going to bring in millions of dollars. And sometimes we didn't have the money to match those grants. Sometimes we just didn't meet the qualifications of the grants. But it wasn't that we didn't have someone on staff. We ended up deciding it wasn't a good position for us to maintain. We also know that with Sydney not in the county every day, that's a problem, okay? We recognize it. When we went through the process, she was by and far the most qualified individual that we had to select from. And she brings a lot of knowledge and a lot of stuff. Your question about mall, before that occurred, we talked to the owner. We've been over to Frank Miller. When I say we, Sydney has been to Frank Miller. I think Ruthie might have been with her at that meeting. And she has been down to the casket factory. But are we reaching people as much as we should? Of course not. We need to reach more. Bringing the chamber inside economic development, we can look at it as a pro or con. When we brought it in, Union City's chamber was struggling. Winchester's chamber was almost non-existent at that point. The chambers and that was the only two chambers in the whole county. So we felt like bringing it inside RCU would then allow our perimeter towns, Modoc, Losantville, Parker Farmland, that would give them an opportunity to join a chamber that would be more focused countywide. And I think Carrie gets out. She's been doing a great job on getting out in the last 6 months. Tremendously good job. Ruthie's been helping with that. So if you look at our membership and our income, it has went up quite a bit. You had to pay to be a chamber member before we brought the chamber in. You still have to be, you got to pay to get a chamber member. But I understand the concern. Tom don't pay his company into the chamber, so he doesn't get necessarily all the benefits of the chamber. And as long as the chamber is under RCU, that's tax dollars, not just private funding. So it is a difficult yin and yang. We shove chamber totally out, then we run the risk that it'll be what it was before it came in, almost non-existent. Or we leave them in and we figure out a better solution. So what we would like to do is propose that with these cuts coming, we can't decide it. I think it's not very smart for us to bring you a budget, you to reject it. We come back with something different and we don't get anything done. I propose that we put together a committee that's got the executive board for RCU, which is 5 of us. And then we get a county commissioner. Gary's on economic development, but he's leaving the council.
Right.
So I think it would be good, maybe, Tom or somebody from the commissioners could be on this committee, and we'd get with Greg and he could get someone from county council to get on this committee, and we sit down and we hammer out where do we or don't we go, period. Because the majority of us are volunteers. And I got no desire to keep driving to Winchester to negotiate or to bring a budget that's just going to get denied. If council and commissioners aren't on board with what we want to do, there's no need for us to keep hitting our head against the wall, okay? And there are things that we do provide that economic development's going to have to do. I mean, the state is looking at multi-county functions. And if we're not part of a multi-county function, there's millions of dollars that are not going to end up in Randolph County, period. But can that be done by someone employed by the commissioners? Well, sure, if you call it economic development, I'm sure there could be. But I just think it makes sense that we all sit down and discuss it and come up with a game plan together. That's just my suggestion.
Well, I think it's fair. We'll go around one more time.
Sure.
I think it's fair. I don't want to cut it clear off zero
Right.
personally, but I think somewhere in the middle, we owe it to the people to. I will be here when the contract comes through, but not after. So I think your decision on somebody other than I on that committee is a smart decision.
Yeah.
If I were on that committee, I would not accept even to tolerate a non-full-time director. Don't have to live in Randolph County, has to work here. And as you know, Clyde, you were on some hiring committees. We went through 3 full-times one time. You can't just give up on, you just can't stop because you got a part-time. And we don't get but one, in my opinion, I'm on that board, we get 1 day, if we're lucky, 1 day with our director in this county. A week. I don't think I'm off base.
Don't disagree.
We don't even get them at the meetings. We just don't. It's not working. I didn't disagree with the attempt, because I actually talked to you, said maybe we ought to try, Augusta in Muncie. That's what they do. But when we have an idea and an experiment that didn't work, and we got to get out of it, or we lose confidence, the entire community loses the confidence. I've lost confidence. Not you, not Ruthie, in the whole system. And there was a time when things changed, when the funding changed and the oversight changed because of open to the public. But all of a sudden, I think a group of people all of a sudden started leading this in a direction we wish we weren't at right now. And I wouldn't vote to have what we have right now.
Correct.
any further. I will be open to looking at what a committee of people can present to the commissioners. But I'm also with Missy that I believe Randolph County, we need to do something, whether we hire a county administrator that takes care of some economic development
Right.
duties or all of them. What we have today doesn't work, and I think you recognize that. It
I
doesn't
do.
work for me.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, times have changed. Funding for the county, direction, have changed. You guys quote, get paid, but you're sure not full-time. And your job is more than full-time. And, me and Gary's had this conversation. I think the county needs an administrator that can take care of getting things done. I mean, wind and solar has blessed the county with the fact of money that has come in to allow you guys to do jobs you never thought you could do. But guess what it did? It also increases the responsibility level that is on you guys to make sure projects are done right and followed up on. And, y'all gotta, and I talked to Tom one day, he's driving home from Pennsylvania. I mean, it's kind of hard to follow up on a project in Randolph County when Tom's job has him in Pennsylvania. That's difficult. So, what we want to do is be a solution to the problem. Okay. And I think there's a happy medium where the county can get someone that reports to you guys. We can continue to operate, provide the services that we provide, and hopefully do it all within budget of what the state is going to send us that we don't know yet.
Tom, final thoughts?
I would love to serve on the committee
Good.
to have those conversations. And I do think the chamber is extremely, extremely important.
Yeah.
I really do. So when I say I don't like the pay to play type scenario of that, I do think the chamber, I think 70% of what you guys do is really the job of a chamber of commerce.
It is. We do a lot of chamber.
And it's very important. Discussion with us is a whole new thing about us having a county administrator or a county chamber or a county director that we need to have now. And I think all of us, we've had those conversations in here before, are in favor of going to that direction to some extent that we need to do before budget. But yeah, no, I think right now it's all dialogue, it's all open, it's all good. It needs to happen.
Final thoughts, Missy?
Well, I think Sydney's one of the most talented people I've ever seen, in conferences and everywhere else. I just wish we had someone like her, and she may be your pick right there, who's just about as close to being evolving into being a really outstanding leader as far as economic development is concerned. And I'll be honest, that's kind of why I'm, thinking that we've got to get our own going, so we have a say in what we want to do and what we know what's going to propel us to continue through this next 3 years, maybe longer than that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not out doing chamber stuff or, looking at, the thing they had here the other day, the lunch thing, that was fantastic. I get a phone call from Union City saying, how come they never come over and do it in Union City? Good. It's a perfectly good question.
Yep.
It really is.
We'll need to.
Yeah. Farmland has an event and they're saying, where's RCU? Why don't they ever come over here and set up I hear that because I go around, sometimes. And I think you've done a great job. I'm amazed at the amount of money that you've been able to bring in and the grants that you're being able to get that have really continued on from before. But leadership is everything. And I think Sydney's extremely talented. She's at conferences that we go to, nobody misses. They pack the rooms to hear from that. That's why I'd like to have her here more, and I don't think that's going to change. Can't change because she's too successful doing what she's doing there.
Okay, just a couple follow-ups, and then you guys can have the last word, whatever you want to say. But I'd ask for information on how those trips aren't gratuity and how they're not paid for by the taxpayer when you take the one instead of taking it to income.
Yes.
I still don't have that. I asked in February.
Okay.
That's one thing that didn't follow up on, and I asked last meeting, strictly to Sydney about a follow-up on who got those funds, how much, and yeah, she was supposed to email that to the commissioners.
Oh, okay. You've already got it, don't
I'm
you?
lost on what you're talking about.
Your
the
committee that you were on that funded the different
yeah,
groups?
yeah.
Missy should have, don't you, Missy? You got the list.
I'm not sure. I'm not
If
sure
not,
I ever did.
but I've got it.
I
So
don't
you
know.
got the list of who
Oh,
got
a list of
funded,
who got, yeah, I
Yeah.
did that day.
Yeah,
End of
Missy
that
has
day.
that.
who got funded, how much,
Uh-huh,
and who didn't get funded.
yes.
And the other, one more thing I'd like to know is, of all those funded, how many are non-chamber members?
That I don't know, but I can find out.
You know,
I could tell you if I look at the list.
are there any of them non-chamber
Oh, if
members?
you look at the list.
It just goes to the fairness part.
Yeah.
I think I can answer a little of that because
Yeah.
I sit in on those. It was never asked or even insinuated, are they on the chamber? Are they a chamber member or not? No discussion on that. And I'd say the majority of the people on that committee, I don't know who is and isn't, we didn't base it on chamber membership at all, at least.
I wasn't on the committee, so I don't know.
I'm just curious.
5 of the 13 who were awarded were non-chamber members.
So the majority were chamber members.
Yeah,
The large-
5 of the how many?
13.
So
And you had 8 from Winchester, 4 from Union City, and 1 from Parker City.
I believe that's correct, yes.
And we have 9 towns.
Yes.
Um,
But they put out a pretty good spread of trying to get people to apply, on social media. And I don't know those who didn't get funded where they're located, but they're listed on the sheet. They're listed. So
Commissioners.
so we can, because you guys want to
Yeah,
get
you
something
guys
done
want
by
to talk.
August. So do you guys want to put this committee together so we can work out, get Tom on there, Greg or somebody from,
Tom's already said he'd like to be on it, so I
Good.
would imagine coordination will come from your office
okay,
to
we
get
can
the
do
elected
that.
officials on there.
Yep, yep.
And,
And I'll reach out to Greg and find out who he wants to see from county council.
well,
We need to vote.
Missy, you okay with Tom serving on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Is that
Yeah,
good?
so yeah,
Okay.
fine.
That's all we got.
Evening
Unless-
meetings only.
Evening only. Ruthie?
Oh, come on.
I'm good.
All right. I have nothing
Okay.
else. Thank you.
And
for
Monday
coming in.
evenings is preference.
We can meet in Parker. huh?
There you go.
Open meetings are difficult, but this is public money and public
Yeah,
needs to hear it all.
yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Highway roof collar, there was no new edit plan. Okay, Laura sent out the edit plan that we have to take care of. Can I see it?
I didn't bring a copy, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't bring a copy either. Maybe we can put this on the next one. and
Okay.
Discuss it. I mean,
That's
we have
fine.
6 months.
Yeah.
Well, no, but we're working on budget now, that's why I
Oh.
sent it out now.
Can you
But
just read it off? the
we're not
wall?
gonna have it,
All those things you had on it is, we need to keep on there.
Yeah, and the ones that are done are done.
Right. I mean, I read.
well,
most
I
of
had
it.
RCU on there, and they're just said they don't know if they're gonna leave that amount or what. So,
Mhm.
I mean, we can appropriate if we
Right.
don't budget it, we just, state board frowns upon appropriations first thing in the year. I don't know, just
Well, we won't know the RCU thing until.
later, yeah,
at
I
least
get
for a couple
that.
months.
I get that, we just thought if we could add whatever we needed to add now.
You could appropriate the $270,000 for 1 year.
Well, we can go down the list. I have it on my
Yeah, we
thing
can go
here.
down from there.
When did you send that out?
Thursday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was last week, I don't remember what time.
I've got it up here. Do you need it?
You mind reading it off?
No, because I don't have my, well, I do have my
Okay,
glasses.
that's
I can
Yeah,
read
do
it off. I
my
have it
glasses.
here, but I have the current plan at least.
Yeah, that's what she's got.
Right.
Well, just to go down the list, Winchester and
You're
Union
fine.
City and the other towns, you give $10,000 a year to.
I would leave it.
We've had that on there forever.
What?
Leave the towns.
Oh, yeah.
distribution. Okay.
And if not, I mean, the one thing is if we don't stay with Randolph County United, some of that money, we could add additional to some of those small towns
Right.
to enhance some projects they might need to do too.
And then you have the RCU, we just talked about, the 75,000 for legal and financial. Yes, we're gonna keep that in there.
Okay.
You have to keep that in
Yeah.
there. Web hosting, I think you're gonna leave in there. Live streams, I
Yeah.
assume you wanna leave in there. Eastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, you
No.
voted to take that out, so I was gonna remove that. Randolph County Promise, I think you're committed for the next 2 years on that one. Then Achieva, that's the adult guardian
I
program.
think we should be doing that.
Okay.
Anybody that don't agree, just say.
I think we need to, on number 9, I think you need to look and ask for statistics on how many people are being served in
They
there.
usually come in and ask.
I know the courts are really pushing us keeping that
Yeah.
every year. I mean, it's good for the courts.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. The Achieva. is
Yeah,
that what
I
you're talking
like
about?
it.
Yeah.
I mean, they come to Second Harvest and with individuals and we load them up there and then they take them back to their homes. So it does, I've seen a lot of good things from it.
Form of funders, I think that was done,
That's
right?
done.
Yep. Housing Resource Hub, it
Done.
looks like it expired. Yeah, the 387,000 for broadband that was not used. I would assume that just goes back into our,
I'd go back to the.
goes back,
Yeah,
yep.
the reserve.
Then you had the loan from Randolph Eastern, that stays, that just stays. The airport was already, that's done.
Yeah.
Yep. SJCA, I'm not sure which one that one, 39,700.
Yeah, it was, I don't remember what the
It was,
project
wasn't it
was, but
for,
it was for one of
engineering
them.
for
It
either,
was an engineering.
either for going across the Seminole River? I think it had to do with the stone.
Well, let's,
I do too, and I don't think we've
What-
done it yet.
yeah,
so.
we might leave that on or follow up on that one.
Yeah.
The Art Association, take off that one, that was done. The Playground Paradise is done. Tourism is, you paid $28,000 a year for them. I think you've had that in there for a while.
Just a couple of years when we switched it out of RCU.
Right. Well, you were supporting it one way or another.
Yeah, one way or the other.
I guess that's
I
what
think
I'm
we should maintain it.
Okay. Then the blight grants, are those all paid out yet?
They have not, but then like, I think Winchester's got 3, so they got 1 remaining.
So we'll leave those in. We'll figure out what's not paid yet.
But
and leave it in.
it had been discussed at a prior meeting about funding for several more projects. Well, we've only approved 40,000 for Winchester, 30,000 for Union City. Winchester's used 30 of their 40. Union
Has-
City's used 10 of their 30.
Okay, so they still have,
So there's still some funding left in there
so we'll
for
leave
them
those
to
in.
use, but only to this extent. So if you're going to give them more, you need to, I mean, that can be a later discussion. I'm just saying that you guys have discussed giving them more, but they,
Those might be paid
as
out
of
this
right
year too.
now, they only have this amount. See what I'm saying?
They still have 6 months to, I mean,
No,
for-
I'm,
for this, I guess what I'm
We
saying.
didn't set that for a year though, did we?
No,
No.
but
yeah, it was just a
hypothetically,
one-time, 40,000 for Winchester one time, 30,000 for Union City one time, 10,000 for each of the other towns.
well, I know the city of
One time.
Winchester is going to use the rest of theirs this year. I already know the project. So,
Yeah, but there was discussion that Bob's gonna have more,
I would, the
and
money should,
if you guys want to give more,
I do.
you need to think about that before you redo your plan,
Right.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I think,
Those who have not used, they stay static where they're at, and those who have, we replenish.
well, I think we replenish and don't necessarily designate it to a city or a town, and they just come and ask for it.
Oh, like an at-large.
Just at large, instead of saying Winchester gets 3 or 4. If we replenish for another 10 properties, it's basically whoever comes to us and has the properties ready.
Yeah, I think the only reason we put one per small town is they take longer to get their funds together
They
to
do
do
it. But we can refund it then
Yeah.
if after that 10
it. I don't
runs
have a problem
out.
with an at-large
No.
amount.
That's all I was getting at.
For
but,
100,000?
You know, there's been
Yes,
discussion to
sounds
give
good.
them more.
plus
and-
what's already,
100,000 sound good at
Yeah.
that large amount? Make a motion to that, someone.
well, we'll have another.
Okay, we'll have another, yeah.
But, and whatever is already still
Yeah.
in the works.
Like
Right.
Santville's used theirs 10,000.
Yeah, Los
Modoc.
Angeles.
Modoc.
I think Modoc did.
MoDOT did. Sandals did.
I know Modoc
Veterans
did.
Park, they
I
might.
know Modoc used theirs.
Yeah, Modoc used theirs.
Saratoga. used one.
Saratoga used one.
Yeah, Don told me, yeah. RAS 32, I think you're gonna have to leave that on. That's been already committed. The Parker City Fire Department, that can be taken off. Albany's done, Harder Park should be done, and the radio encryption should be done.
Yeah, there's money there, nobody's applied
It's
for
not
any
done
of
yet.
it.
It should be, but we can leave it on.
They have to,
Yeah.
I don't think they have time down there to deal with it right now.
Yeah, they have 6 months. I assume that will be done within the next 6 months. But
So don't put it, we're not gonna.
we'll put
budget
it back
for
on,
next
but I
year.
think it's going to be, I think by the time we approve it in
Right.
December, it's going to
Okay.
be.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to kind of have an idea of what we were gonna
Okay.
put in for budgets.
I can get something drafted up.
Missy, you good with
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Tom? Okay. Now we get the highway roof collar.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
can I back up?
Sure.
The Forum of Funders, the foundation does a fantastic job, but I don't know that they're getting that many requests, and I think we need to, and the kind of request, I'm all for neutering cats, I guess. But I don't want that to be what we're gonna say we're gonna use the Forum of Funders for, that people dropping cats in a town that they know they're gonna be. So
I think we're done contributing, aren't we?
Yeah.
are we, okay.
Yeah, we're
We're
done.
not, you did not contribute in
I agree with
2020.
you completely, but we're not contributing.
Okay,
In 2024 and 2025, you contributed, but your obligation was done in
that's why she came
2025.
and asked for another
Yes.
additional appropriate, okay.
Anything else, Ms.
Nope.
Gilman?
Nope, that's good.
Okay, highway roof collar. There's a change order for it to go white from the galvanized metal of $7,276. If this change order was added to it to keep the highway roof white, it would still be under the next closest bid. But it's a matter of whether the commissioners want to do it or not. I'd like to turn it white. Tom?
I don't know that it's worth spending 7,000 with the pitch of the roof. You can't hardly see,
Right.
from there, you couldn't tell the difference anyway.
Well, man, fair enough. I've never done
I
that.
think I'm on the other side, that I don't
Missy?
think.
I don't think we should do it.
Okay. So it stays as is, we don't need a motion. Okay. GIS map agreement table from June 1st.
Yeah, so we reached out to this company and did not get a response, but I just want to say that they cannot change our map. They've already paid for this. We haven't cashed the check because you guys haven't approved the
Right.
agreement. But we're getting $1,200 for us to just give them our layers to use to overlay on whatever earth project they're working on. It doesn't change anything on our mapping, and we've never denied these before. Totally
Yes.
up to you guys, but
Well, GIS is in your department. You make a recommendation, we go ahead and do it.
yes.
We have a recommendation from the auditor to go ahead and approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion
Second.
to approve. We have a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, same sign. Okay. Now we're down to Baker Tilly CFP contract.
I'll move that we approve it.
We have a motion to approve.
Second,
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye opposed, same sign.
There's not a line, just signs.
I saw that on the computer.
Next, Baker Tilly must/lit contract.
Make a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second,
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye opposed, same sign. Okay. Res Q 911 Pro Services Agreement. Nissa's went through the contract, straightened up some issues on it, and it's time to sign it. We're going to sign it. I think we need to sign it, even though we're going to have a joint session. Possibly will help the hiring phase down there. If we were to get it cured faster than this contract was completed, we can back out at any time,
Yeah.
right, Meeks?
Oh, 60 days.
All we will lose
Yeah,
is
it's
30
like-
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I mean, 30 days.
I thought it was.
No. I
So I
just read
think-
that this morning.
We need to sign this. as a safety
You'll know
net
30
right now.
days
Huh?
ahead. You'll know 30 days ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to sign the Rescue 911 contract.
Motion to agree.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, same sign. Resolution 2026-09. We have a resolution 2026-09. A resolution to declare certain personal property in Randolph County, Indiana as unneeded and to be considered surplus property for disposal. And what is this resolution is about is from the prosecutor's office. 2 Glock Model 23 handguns, serial numbers are provided. 1 Glock Model 27 handgun with serial number provided. So I make a motion to approve this resolution, 2026-09.
What happens to those weapons, to those guns?
They'll sell them.
They'll sell them. They have to go
Do they
through
give
the
them,
proper channel.
yeah,
Then it goes back into whatever fund. So if it was whichever fund purchased
yeah, I
them.
thought so. Motion to agree.
If they can't find the fund that purchased, it goes in county general.
Okay.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mary, you have anything this morning?
APC meeting Wednesday. Bethany Villages, Mayor of City Winchester, Bob McCoy, sorry. They are going to be asking for a change from R1 to R3, which is residential medium density to residential high density. The plan is to build 48 age-restricted housing units. It's going to be one level, kind of shaped like an X. I think we've talked about it before. That does go before area planning on Wednesday. Then they recommend favorable, or unfavorable. Then it goes to city council. Then they get a vote on it. I did ask the owners to screen the property from, what is that property? Is that Doug Lowe edition?
Yeah.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
To screen that possibly with pine trees or something to kind of separate that. So when they do build, that kind of separates the two properties. And I've also looked at possibly flipping the structure to allow the parking on the more south side than the north side to reduce noise as well.
Where's this at?
The old nursing home property.
Randolph Nursing Home. Across from Vegas.
By Baker Elementary.
Oh, Baker Elementary, okay.
It was
So
destroyed.
once this is approved, they will basically start demo. I think they've got quotes on demo. I think last I heard it's probably right around 300,000. There's some concerns about dust. That will all be addressed by the demo contractor. They're really good about bringing in a tank and keeping things wet. Obviously, there's asbestos and things like that. It has to be removed. And then from there, and they may wait to demo because I know this is all going through the ICDA for some funding. So, and I think that application's due July something or other. So,
16th, I think.
yeah. So once that's all, and I think they feel really good about getting the funding. So once that's all done, so hopefully we could possibly see some demo and some construction before the end of the year.
Good.
And I do agree with you guys on the economic development on RCU. I think we need somebody that represents the county, a local person that's familiar with the county. We can start it with somebody that's maybe not so experienced in economic development and see where it goes. Right now, I agree. I don't think we're being represented, and I think the communication is just not there for representing the towns and the communities. That's all I got.
Yep.
Thank you.
But one thing, I'm glad he mentioned that. This is us talking to Missy about the $900,000 they have. I believe you'll find some of that's restricted and not used for operations.
Yeah. And I
don't know the exact numbers right now, but
Yeah.
they have restricted money in a revolving fund and
Yeah.
open funds. So I don't know off the top of my head what. I just want
Yeah.
to make sure the public knows that they're not sitting on $900,000.
No, some of it is in
Non-restricted
farm
fund.
ground, some of it is in other
Right.
property, other places. I'm not questioning that, I'm just questioning the
I was just doing for
relationship.
clarification.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the relationship with not only the three of us and the council, what's going on, what do you need, but with businesses and, things developments that could happen.
Right. Okay, we are now at the end of our agenda. Missy, what else?
I don't have anything.
Laura?
So we have insurance meetings this week, mandatory for renewal. And on Thursday, we start at 7:30. Wasn't sure how that affects us. Security doesn't normally open until 7:30, so people are gonna be coming in prior to. I don't know how they
We
handle it.
discussed it with Tom already this morning.
You did? Okay.
Yes, and they said they would cover it, but and they said with a couple days' notice, they should be able to cover anything like that, because it won't happen very often.
And then,
So I don't know how within our contract.
It's extra, but we have to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, we know that.
They talked about just coming in at 7:15, 7 to 7:15, just being here so for everybody to come in.
yeah, that's fine. So then Thursday night, I don't know if you're gonna bring up the meeting for Thursday night.
I don't think we need them here for Thursday night.
Okay.
We don't, the courts aren't in session, the courthouse is not open.
Okay, that's fine.
Gary, I do have something
Yes.
else. I'm sorry, it was on the bottom there. I've again had two neighbors out near that north-south, 900 west and 100 north. There was a fender bender out there because they've come in and requested to make that a four-way stop rather than just a two-way
Oh, way
stop.
back, a few months ago.
Yes, yeah.
I
And,
think Joe was gonna get a traffic count out there.
yeah, but I don't think they've ever been able, Joe, have you been able to get a traffic count thing
Joe will
out
have
there?
to come up to answer
Yeah.
this for the public.
Joe Copeland, county engineer. I've been off for a little bit.
I know,
With
but we're glad to
surgeries.
see you back.
So, no, what I got to do is I know a company in Indianapolis that does traffic counts. Their primary expertise is in traffic. And I want to call them and find out what they use to count traffic and then check on the prices to see what it would take to get the same type of equipment.
Could you reiterate why that's important? Instead of just going down there and throwing up a four-way
Yeah.
stop, why is that necessary? And why is that important?
There's a manual, it's national, but Indiana has their own. They've adopted the national with a few changes, and it's the Indiana Manual and Uniform Traffic Control Devices. We are required to follow that manual. And that manual discusses and talks about the reasons that you should use to put in a four-way stop. And same way, if you move the say stop from one direction to another, there's things you need to do there. And in places, it specifically states that you're not to do certain things. So we need to follow the manual so we don't get any problems with liability. Yeah, it's kind of thick.
And sometimes it is hard for people to understand. We just cannot go put up a
Yeah.
stop sign just to put up a stop sign.
No, and the manual specifically states that stop signs are not to be used for speed control.
Right.
Yeah.
It states it just that way.
What else, Missy?
I think that's it.
Okay, I guess to follow up your question, are you going to get hold of somebody and let us know about, we've had another accident down there, I heard of this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was your ultimate question, wasn't it?
Yep, that was it.
Okay, thank you. Laura, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Um, Oh. Oh, yeah, HR's still here. No. Would you tell them in the future for the commissioners and for the office holders who may be affected, that if you see an anomaly in the HR, things going on that we might want to know, just feel free to tell us.
Okay.
Tom?
A couple things. The security, I talked to Jake and Tony down there this morning. We was talking about the remodel of the doors, that they think it's working better now the way it is than potentially what we wanted to do with the changing. So the material is already in with the contractor that's supposed to change that entranceway, but thought we might put a hold on it right now and let the security work for a while and see how everything works out and where we go from there. That's pretty much it.
I put a hold on, we own the material.
Yeah,
But
we will have to pay for the material, but we might not. The expense might not be necessary for the whole thing.
right, it should be available to,
So whether we need
to
to
reuse somewhere else.
vote on that to have Jake
suspend that, but yeah, we made a vote to do it, so.
I'll make that a
We make a
motion.
motion to hold the door project on the entrance. Is that it?
Yes.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay, what else?
Courthouse remodel for the probation community correction area. We want to have, they sent out a preliminary, they're getting with things, so do we want him to follow through and finish up with Prince and put a bid package together on that? What's the next step on that?
I think so. We have to have a bid package to get
Yes,
anywhere.
yes.
Missy?
I agree.
So yes.
Okay. I think we've already voted on
Yeah,
all that, but
yeah.
just make sure with what he sent, so I'll talk to David on that.
And it just makes so much sense to have them here,
Oh, it does.
particularly with protection here.
It does. And I think that's all I have today.
Meeks?
I do not have anything today.
All right. Anybody in attendance today that hasn't spoken, feel free to come up. Seeing nobody moving, somebody make a motion to adjourn.
So move.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
So